Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatullahi wassalamu ala nabiyyi man la nabiyyi ba'dahu sayyidul huda tajul huda ba'un nada wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallim. Ayyuhal mustami'un al-kiram, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So in this episode, we are going to be looking at the conflict resolutions in marriage. Conflict resolution in marriage. Conflict resolution in marriage. Now, I feel so bad when I see marriages being broken. It's not something I like. So Izharulhaqtv really cares about your marriages. And that's why we are going to be coming with a lot of conflict resolution techniques that you can adopt in your homes. And a lot of things make marriage become, or make marriages become turbulent. And these are the things that we can avoid. But because we don't sometimes pay attention, and these things become a big problem for us. Now, in order not to waste much of our time, let us strictly look at the things that create problems in marriage. And what are the likely solutions that we have come up? Now, in marriage, one thing kills marriage a lot. It kills marriage faster than when a gun is pointed at you and you are shot. It may still take time before somebody dies, but this kills marriage so fast than what you could ever think of. And that is suspicion. Suspicion kills marriages. And suspicion starts from when there's a breach of trust between both parties. When the man does not trust the woman and the woman does not trust the man. I don't want to go back to how the husband and the wife got married. I'm looking at the post-marriage conflict resolution. Before you take a wife, you must have exhausted all your search means. Oh, I want a woman to be like this, I want my woman to be like that. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Tunka la'abad lemaliha lejamaliha lenizbiha walidiniha. But he said, but you can marry for wealth, for money, for beauty, and for religion. But he said, but the best, the best among them is you marry for deen. The purpose of you marry for deen is you need to be assured that the woman you have has good morals, and the man, and vice versa. The man also needs to have level of high morals, because if the morality is lacking in that marriage, the marriage can only become very, very toxic and unsuccessful. But when you both have adopted good morals in your marriage, then you can have little problems. The problems that are quite trivial and that can be surmounted easily. So now, suspicion. Let me just take you to the ayah of Al-Quran in Quran chapter 49, verse 12. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن. God said, oh you, the believers, abstain from a lot of suspicions. This is God Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking. Avoid suspicion. Don't suspect yourselves. It's not good. Inna ba'da dhani ithmun. For some suspicions are sins. When you are suspecting your partner, it's evil. Many women, you lock yourself in the room, you open your husband's phone, you begin to look for information. Those information you are likely to see, to come across, can mar your marriage, can be a problem for your marriage. Why not avoid it? And now say, wala tajazazu. Do not investigate yourselves. Do not spy on yourselves. If you actually do love somebody, why are you spying on the person? When you spy on somebody, it's just like you are playing a god. You are playing God. How do you play God? Fine. God says He knows our hidden and what we do in the open. So now, if you want to now look for the secret of a partner, as a result of whatsoever, I don't know what could have informed your decision, but you're not trying to now go and begin to look for information about your spouse, to spy on the spouse all the time. It is not, for the fact that morally it is not good. Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed that you desist from that. It is not good. Wala yaktab ba'adukum ba'adan. Don't plot evil of yourselves. It's not good. And God continues. Ayuhibbu ahadukum an yahkula lahmun akhihi maitan. Can any one of you eat the dead meat of his brother, as in the brother that is dead? Can you take the meat and eat it? That's not possible. If you cannot do that, then doing all those things is as good as eating the dead meat, the flesh of your dead brother. So God doesn't like that. So wattaqullaha innallaha tawwabun. You fear Allah, for Allah is forgiving, ar-Rahim, and is very kind. So now, what you are going to take away from your marriage now is suspicion. When your husband goes out of the house, why are you trailing your husband to his destination? It's evil. Okay, now, if you are not ready to forfeit your marriage, for instance, and you are now trailing your husband, at the end of the day, you find information that is not good. If you know you are not quitting that marriage, then why are you accumulating information? Why are you gathering information against your spouse? Why don't you leave everything for God? See, when a man is up and doing, the man is very responsible, and that is why you must have considered morality before choosing a spouse. You consider a man that will be 100% responsible, and responsibility is taking care of the family, providing the needs for them. And God Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has said that the reason I have increased the daraja of men, position of men over women, is not for anything. Be more anfaku, because they are spending from what Almighty Allah has given them as well. So if a man is up and doing, the man is giving you peace of mind, and you now want to begin to trail the man up and down. Let me see where this man is going. It's not good. You go take the phone, you start to look at information. Leave everything for God. God says, do not be a judge of your own case. I'm going to be the judge. I'm doing the investigation for you. If Almighty Allah will come with surprises, then you'll be surprised. You'll be vindicated. That is that about that. Another thing you need to avoid in marriage. No, you don't avoid this. Another thing you need to imbibe, I beg your pardon, in marriage. You imbibe perseverance. The culture of perseverance. Patience. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. For in life, let me give you the concept of marriage. Marriage, in the Western language, or in the Western nomenclature, they say it's a civil contract, because it is the coming of one man from a different background, another woman from another background, to come and say, oh, I want to get married to you, offer an acceptance. That's why it's a civil contract. And now, we are coming from different backgrounds. We don't know each other. I don't know how you guys, might have, known each other. It may be through one means or the other. But what is more important is you need to come and live together and learn to live peacefully. And how do you live peacefully? By understanding that this man is likely to do things that I don't like. And I may likely also see from this woman what I do not like. So you persevere. You are not going to see everything that will please you in marriage. No. You're going to see a lot of things that are not pleasing. So you need to understand that. So let's quickly go to Quran chapter 13, verse 22. Quran chapter 13, verse 22. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والذين صبروا, those that persevere, ibtigaha wajhi rabbihim, for they are seeking the favor of the Lord, wa aqamu salata, and they observe their obligatory prayers, wa anfaqu mimma razaqnahum sirran wa alaniyatan, and they spend from what God has given to them as wealth, in the secret and in the open. Wa yadrahuna bil ahsanat sayyi'atan. This is important. They repel evil with good. Wa yadrahuna bil hasanat sayyi'atan. They are repelling evil with good. So this is the understanding we need to understand. When your spouse, you think you are not getting the best, why don't you return that inconsistency with good deeds? You are meant to repel that you think is not too good about your spouse with something good, because that in a way can bring about peace. Because you have to understand that the reason for marriage is for peaceful coexistence, and if that peace can no longer be available in marriage, then it becomes no marriage anymore. And if you guys have compassion for each other, there's no question about spying, trying to investigate, and if you guys truly love each other, you persevere. Because life is ups and down. Sometimes we have so much, sometimes we have very little. Sometimes we have in abundance, sometimes we have in inadequacy. We have a lot of inadequacies. So that tells you that life is not straight. Life is full of, it's a kind of tidal reaction. It goes up and down. So that is about that. You persevere. And for those that have this quality, God said, Lahum Okobadari, their recompense is a Jannat al-Firdaus. It's paradise. Paradise is what is the recompense for them. So, which shows that perseverance is very important. And when you think this person is doing what you don't like, you are meant to return that with. So in marriage, basically, when somebody be the opposite of the other person, when the person is very temperamental, you not be a very patient person. When the person is very niggard, you be the giving person. When the person is kind of tough, closed door policy, you have a little of transparent policy, so that you can balance it. If you guys have the same attributes, I'm temperamental, you're temperamental, I'm this, you're that can only bring about turbulence in that marriage. So that is that about that. You avoid suspicion. Another one is perseverance. You persevere in your marriage. And in perseverance, let me quickly bring us to this. Hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and these hadith from Abu Hurairah. So, call Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yakum wazana, that you need to be careful with suspicions. Fa'ina zana aksabul hadith, that's because some suspicions appear lies. Because you can just assume something from your head. Oh, that this thing is happening, that is happening, but they may not necessarily be so. So you need to avoid suspicion as much as you can in your life to have a healthy living. It's even good for your own peace of mind. So wala tajazazu, do not spy on each other. Wala tahazazu, don't plot evil of each other. Wala tabaghadu, do not be hostile. You don't have to be hostile towards each other. Wakunu ikhwana, live as brother and sister. That is how you are meant to live your marriage. So now, tolerance. Tolerance is another aspect of marriage. Let me go by the Quran chapter 4, verse 34. Bara istihadha wa basmala. Arijalun qawamuna ala nisa. Say, for I are placed men above women. So the placing of men above women here, we need to understand the concept. The concept I said earlier in the episode I did in the past, is not that the woman has no rights. No. The concept of Rijal Qawwamuna 'ala Nisa is bima fadalallahu ba'dahum 'ala ba'd, for God has, given wealth to some people over some people, because fingers are not equal. We are all going to be blessed, but not on the same degree. So, what bima anfaqu min amwalihim. The reason you are placed above your wife is because you are spending from what Almighty Allah has provided for you. That is why you are the head of the family. The head is not a master slave. It's not, hey, sit down there. Hey, don't. Hey, I want to do this tomorrow. I want to do that, and so shall it be. You are not questionable. No, it's not about that. The purpose of you being placed above is because you are the one that is providing for the family, and that comes with you are being cared for by your wife. Because your wife provides your food, she does your laundry, she does all those things for you. So that is why you are placed above them. And for salahatun, and for virtuous women, virtuous women, qanitatun, that are obedient to God. Please, I want you to follow me. Virtuous women that are obedient to God. Hafizatun laghaibin, they are guiding the hidden. Bima hafizahullahu, as God has guided it. What is the hidden? The hidden God has guided is your private part. You don't wala hafizina furujahum wala hafizat. You don't open your body to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. It's not even good. It is not of God. You have to guide yourself. A married woman, you need to guide your privacy, because God has made that place a secret. So you need to. The other people say is that your body is a temple of God. Do not break it. I don't know. In many languages, you are not meant to flaunt your private part. It's not good. So, and that is not only limited to your private part alone. Even you have to dress in a modest way. You don't flaunt your boobs. You don't flaunt your buttocks. You don't flaunt the sensitive part of the body as a good woman. So, wallati takhafuna nushuzahuna, and when you fear that your wives are averse, probably they are exceeding the required limit. They are averse. And there's nothing you can do about that. Women have every tendency to go beyond the limit. They can provoke you. There's nothing we can do about that. So when you understand that they are becoming averse, faizuhunna, you are meant to what? Persuade them. Be persuasive with them, as in warn them, as in be persuasive on them. Just try and give them warning and all about that. And if they do not desist from what you have compelled them not to do, then they say Quran says that another technique you can adopt is you distance from a bed. Keep distance from a bed. When you come home every night and you don't visit the bed of a woman, even when nothing is going to happen, it's actually prepares the woman. No, it's a pepper them, because every woman wants to cuddle the husband while going to the bed. So when you abstain from the bed, you pepper them. Yes, so they won't like that. Wadribuhunna. If a woman still does not desist, wadribuhunna, you can be a bit harder on them. Just be a bit. You can still adopt another technique just to make, that at this Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there are other steps you can do to, so I don't want to dwell on that. For in ata'anakum, once your women have come out to say, oh, I'm sorry, now I've realized my mistakes, fala tabgu alayhina sabila, then don't find excuses for them again. Once somebody has come to tell you, oh, I'm sorry, the next thing you do is just say, oh, that's a problem, just let go. Inna Allaha kana aliyan, God is the most exalted, akabira, and God is the greatest. Now the last one is communication. This is very important in a marriage. You communicate with your partner. Always engage yourselves in critical dialogue. For dialogue can only strengthen your relationship, your marriage. But if you don't dialogue, this person does not understand you and you don't understand this person. So the way you can surmount your problems when they come, when they emerge, is when you engage in dialogue. Always talk to your partner. Sometimes create time for yourself. Some don't have, they are just too official in their marriages. You just come home, you get your food, you go to bed, you are in isolation. The next morning, good morning, you go to work, you come back. Your marriage may not work like that. Sometimes engage your woman. Your woman should be your friend. Your husband should also be your friend. So that is not about that. May Almighty Allah accept this for us as an act of ibadah. Then I want to implore us to please take a few lessons from this episode and apply it to your homes. And I'm telling you, your homes will never remain the same. May Almighty Allah protect your homes, guide your homes against any form of evil. فسبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. You can always subscribe to our YouTube channel, Izharulhaqtv, on Facebook, Twitter, Izharulhaqtv, on Instagram, as you are seeing the display on your screen. So may Almighty Allah accept this for us as an act of ibadah.